Welcome to this week's episode of Business Solutions, where we find solutions on formed lifestyles. And today we're not talking about a product as a solution, but a service by one Njeri Muchunu, a speaker, a mentor, a life coach, a destiny giver, name it all. She'll be telling us about the upcoming event running in up to 1.5 months from the 1st of November to the 13th of December here in Nairobi and how you can sign up for it. But before then, let us understand why she's coming up with this, why she wants to transform lives, and why she feels that leadership is losing a lot of trust in the present generation. Thank you so much, Madam Njeri. Welcome to this week's episode of Business Solutions. Let us know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Hi, Kingsley. Thank you for having me. My name is Njeri Muchunu, like you introduced me. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, all those things.
Yes.
But I heard you ask, why do I do what I do?
Yes.
I believe each of us was created for a reason by God and for a purpose. For me, I found my calling, and my calling is in leadership, right? I believe leadership is held in trust. Jesus Christ was the greatest leader that ever lived. And what is ailing our nation currently is a lack of trust in our leaders. None of us can do it by ourselves. So for me, I know what God has called me to do is to raise leaders who first are able to lead themselves in terms of character, in terms of what they do, in terms of integrity. And then from there, going forward, then they're able to lead others. Yes.
We're talking about a kingdom business here, living a kingdom life, and we're having a lineup of events coming up for you to transform lives. Tell us about how your journey has been into transforming others' lives in leadership and mentorship.
That's an interesting question. Do we have all day?
Yeah.
I don't believe we have all day. But what I can tell you, since I was very young, I always felt this uneasiness, this restlessness, and I would wonder, why are leaders doing things the way they're doing? Why is it that people are so selfish? They want to go there and do things. It's all about themselves. Even when I was employed, because I was employed for a long time, even in employment, my bosses, I would wonder, why? Why do you have to be horrible? Why do you have to be mean? Why do you have to be so, self-driven? You're just doing things for yourself and to gain. So as I grew up, I always felt this thing inside of me telling me there's more to life than this. There's more to life than this. So that even towards the end of my employment, into deployment, my last years, I served in government. And I don't think it's a coincidence because the Lord that I serve is not a God of coincidences. And when I was living there, he told me it is time. Every training you've gone through, everything that I have taught you, it is now time for you to go and spread the word and teach others what I have taught you, right? Leadership is not easy. It requires a certain kind of person. Even for me, I did not get to where I am by myself. I have mentors all over the world who have held my hand. And let me tell you something about leadership. You will not be liked. A true leader who does things through justice, righteousness, and for the glory of Jesus, people will not like you. Because they'll ask, you think you're better than us? Oh, you think you're doing this? And then there's no self-gain. So people don't understand you're doing this selflessly. You don't want to gain anything from it. You don't want people to praise you. No, it's about justice and righteousness, all to the glory and honor of our King.
I hear you completely. And talking about leadership stems from the basics of units that we have, including families or even a social circle. But you're talking about a leadership system, or rather a current generation where leadership has been tampered with a lot of mistrust, infiltrated, to lack a better word. What's your goal, or who are you targeting? Are you targeting politicians? Are you targeting CEOs? Who are your main focus on transforming lives?
I target everybody who senses they have a call to leadership. For you to be a leader, you don't have to be a CEO. We need leaders in the family sector. We need leaders in the churches. We need leaders in politics and governance. We need leaders in the entertainment industry. I mean, if you look at our society right now, the entertainment industry is pear-shaped. It's gone completely pear-shaped. The kind of songs, the kind of music we're listening to, what is it doing to our children? What kind of sound are they hearing? What are we transmitting to our children? Are we trying to tell them that gyrating and being naked is cool? Right? Why can't we bring back our morals in our society? Right? Leadership is across, it cuts across all sectors, education, culture. Now, if these leaders come together, imagine people of high moral standing, driven by a force that is greater than themselves, coming together and deciding we are going to change Kenya for the sake of the next generation, to the glory of our King. Can you visualize such a Kenya where everything is working? People are not hungry. People are happy. Hospitals are working. The education system is functional. Government are doing the right thing for the sake of the people. Corruption has come to a complete end. Imagine such a nation. That's the nation I look forward to. And I cannot do it alone. I need others.
Yeah.
So I'm calling them, come, let us do this together.
The issues that are affecting our current economy, out of the sector that you've mentioned, education, talk about entertainment, talk about the health sector, are all boiling down to lack of trust and lack of correct leadership. And now you're coming up with a mentorship program that is beginning for, or rather the next month, the 1st of November to the 13th of December, a whole 1.5 months. What's the motivation? What is this thing? A whole 1.5 months? That has to be power packed. You have to have invested in so much books. I mean, I'm thinking about it. Tell us about it, and let me just understand what's the motivation about this event.
First of all, it was an instruction by God. So I live on instruction. He says, you do, you do. Number 2, Kenya is at a crossroads. I'm sure you guys have seen. We are not business as usual. There must be something spiritual at play for such things to happen. We only see with our eyes, but we should look with our spiritual eyes and ask, what is God saying? I am fully convinced that Kenya is at a crossroads. Things are completely changing. Leadership will never be the same after this season. So you asked me, what is the motivation? Why am I doing this? Why am I calling these people? What is it that we're going to do for 7 weeks? Well, you want to learn how to be as wise as a serpent, as harmless as a dove. You want to know how to infiltrate the system as a Jesus lover, and nobody knowing and finding out that you love Jesus until you get to the top where you are trusted, and then you can move and shape things. Do you want to understand how government works in kingdom? Because one of the blessings that God gave us is to have dominion, right? We are the kings and we are the priests. We are the ones who are supposed to be running the show. We are the ones who are supposed to be on the horses, but we are the slaves. Do you want to understand how you can turn your life around and working for a purpose that is greater than yourself? You must have this thing in your heart. This program is not for everybody. Let me just tell you, Kingsley, it's not for everybody. You must have that calling within you, telling you, God is calling you and telling you, you're the one I want to use. You're the one that I want to use to change the entertainment industry. You're the one I want to use to change the education industry. You're the one that will talk to families because families are broken down. You are the one I am calling. You can hear the voice of Jesus when you're hearing my voice. You are the one I'm talking to. Not everybody. It's not for everybody because it may be it will be a tough 7 weeks because I will call you out. I will rebuke. I will mold. I will encourage. We will cry. We will laugh. We will do all these things. We will pray. But ultimately, we will gather an army that will stand for Kenya and say, Kenya belongs to Jesus. And because of us, the ones who will come together, Kenya will never be the same. And this is a promise that God has given. We come together, join forces, and believe in one thing, that Kenya will change because Jesus called us.
The current crop of leaders are losing relevance, and now you are coming up to transform, to alter that, to switch that, and make leaders become people of relevance in the ever-changing times. The Gen Zs just erupted on June 25th and stormed Parliament. There was a lack of concrete leadership, which was there before. They were called out. But Njeri is coming up, asking you to sign up from the 1st to the 13th of December because he wants to alter that. Tell us how you're going to transform these leaders, these people who are being called, those who are hearing your voice, and how they can transform, or rather be relevant in these leadership systems.
Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, so that you may be able to test and approve the pleasing, the perfect will of God. So when we come together, we will test. We will change the way we think. It is to change the narrative. The world tells you go north. We say no, we are going south. Kingsley, one thing that I believe, the majority are just that. Doesn't make them right. Right? And because we are the ones who are chosen, we are new creation, we are a new breed. You talked about the Gen Z uprising. The Gen Z uprising was not it was not done by a person. This was God's intention for a change, total change of governance systems in this nation. And that is why I'm saying Kenya will never be the same, right? The Gen Zs are the new breed of leaders. Not only the Gen Zs, that age group, but the younger leaders who have always felt they have this voice, but nobody is giving them a chance to stand and speak. This is the opportunity that your mind will be changed. Your way of thinking will be changed. The way you see the word of God will be changed. You will be the walking epistle. You don't have to say, I'm a lover of Christ. People will see it. We have been told we need to be the walking epistles. You might be the only person, you may be the only person or the only Bible a person will read. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
You will be the only Bible a person may ever read in their life.
Okay.
The thing is, we take Jesus and throw him on people's
Mm-hmm.
faces.
But who are we?
That's not it. If you think about the life of Jesus, Jesus never talked about anything. He just said, repent. I do as my Father does.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind. He changed lives. He fed. He healed. He did not go telling people, accept Jesus Christ today or you will die. No. That system is gone. We are supposed to be the embodiment of the Word of God. He came as flesh to show us how to lead, how to love. Without love, it's all a waste of time.
So vanity.
The leaders who are there now, love.
Where are they?
People are leading with fear. People are leading out of greed, power games. People want to be in power, to be the ones in control. It was never about that. Without love, it's all vanity.
I hear you. And now coming up to this event, 7 weeks.
Yes.
Oh Lord, to be equipped with the practical strategies on how you can influence your various worlds for God. Engineering, politics, talk of entertainment. What are these strategies that you're going to employ in people, to instill in them, even as we now go to how to sign up, where the event will be, and how to purchase a ticket?
Now, number one, like I said, it will be packed. It will be packed with strategies. What will be the point if I tell you all the strategies that we're going to discuss? You have to sign up so that you come and find out, right? But I promise you, there will be a lot of strategies. One of the things, and that's why I said it at the beginning, people wonder, how can I be as wise as a serpent? A serpent is not a good thing. And then, as harmless as a dove, what does that mean in my everyday walk? How will I make it? The powers that are up there are too strong for me. How will I do it? Now, I want you to come so that I can tell you the secret of how you can take over those platforms for Jesus. And it is possible, not by power, not by might, but by His Spirit. Now, we will be holding the 7-week program at Westlands Banqueting Center by Pride-In, right?
Can you just get that again?
It is the Westlands Banquet Center by Pride-In, and it is along Westlands Road. It's a nice, cozy place with parking. We'll have some nice bitings, of course, and then we will get to talk.
Yeah.
And the program runs from 4 to 7 p.m. every Friday. So the reason why I put it 4 to 7 p.m. because Fridays are easier days for most people. And then, of course, being a Friday, you have Saturday so you can rest. And then think about what we discussed. And then when Monday comes, you can start implementing these things. So then when we come again on Friday, we regroup and discuss. How did your week go?
Okay. Let me know about the 3-hour session.
Yes.
People are now gathered together in a hall. You are speaking to them.
Yes.
Well, give us a picture how it will be. It will be looking like. Will it be interactive? Will it be? Will I be answering questions? Will it be games? To nurture me or to nurture anybody who will be wishing to come.
Basically, it will be interactive.
Okay.
I mean, this is adult education, right? So we will ask questions. We will cheer each other on. I will teach because we have to teach. Teaching is important. So I am also, one of my other giftings is teaching. So I'm a teacher. So I will teach. I will counsel. We will interact. We will do some group work, right? I will get to understand what is the calling that God has. What is it that you sense God has called you to? And how sure are you? So I will push you to make sure that you are actually sure that this is what God is telling you, and it's not just fun times, I feel I want to. It's not a desire, there's a desire, there's a strong desire, and there's something that you can know deep within you. This is a call from God.
It holds water.
Another thing, if you're there and you have been called by God, you will desire to step out in faith. This will be an outcome. This will be an outcome. An army will be raised. I promise you, an army will have been raised, and we will stoke each other to good works, right? And we will cheer each other on. These 7 weeks will just be the beginning. Who knows where God is going to take us?
Who knows?
Who knows? So it's just the beginning of a coming together of a community of like-minded individuals who believe that Kenya is at a crossroads, and that you are the person God has chosen to steer Kenya in a different direction.
You don't need angels to show you that the country is going astray.
Absolutely
you
not.
don't need
unless you're
angels
blind, deaf,
or cherubims.
I think you must be blind or deaf or something.
Do you need dreams now?
No,
you don't need that.
No.
Tell us about how I can sign up. I want to be there.
Now, you can sign up by calling us on 0741 096 964, or you can WhatsApp the same number, that is 0741 096 964, or you can also go to our website, that is www.njerimuchunu.com, the mentorship link, and then you can leave your details and we'll get back to you. Another thing, I want to tell you about payment, because people like to know, how much does it cost? How much does it cost?
Yes.
Can I afford it? Right. We're charging 40,000 for the 7 weeks, and it is payable in installments. And we are willing to have conversations on how these installment payments can be done. But I want to caution people. Remember, it's not about money. It's not about whether I can afford it or I cannot afford it. If you truly feel that God has called you and money is an issue, sign up, reach out. Let us have a discussion. Because if he has called you, he will make the way. A lot of my clients have come to me and they've told me, oh, Njeri, I can't afford this program, blah, blah, blah. So I asked them, please go take 2 weeks, think about it, pray about it. And if you come back to me and tell me that God has confirmed that you should go through with this program, then we start. And I say, he who called you will provide. And I promise you, each and every client has a testimony to give, that they started with no money, but every penny was paid, either by a well-wisher, but the Lord provided. So that should not be your problem. Those are not big problems. My Jesus is not lacking money.
True.
So we are not doing this because of money. We are doing this because Christ has asked us to do it for our nation. Secondly, people don't realize that money is an exchange.
It comes and goes.
Yes, it is an exchange. It shows a level of commitment. So what is your level of commitment? How desperately do you want to see change? right? A lot of my life, the things I've engaged in, I couldn't afford them. In fact, I used to ask God, are you serious? Like, seriously, how am I even going to afford this? And he says, do you trust me? And I say, yes.
Then
And look at what he has done, right? You will be singing, see what the Lord has done. And when Kenya changes, we will be there dancing and saying, see what Jesus has done for our nation. This is your time. This is our time. This is the time for a change in Kenya.
And that's the clarion call by one Njeri Muchunu. You cannot be sleeping on business and still sleep on your calling. And that has been this week's episode of Business Solutions, transforming lives and leadership as is held in trust. You cannot miss this event coming up on the 1st of November to the 13th of December. 7 weeks program, 40,000 Kenya shillings. You cannot miss this at the Westlands here in Nairobi. And that's it for this week's episode of Business Solutions. My name is 𝐃𝐚𝐭𝐞𝐬.
We are Pearl Radio.